Hey everyone, welcome to Ninja Monkey. I hope that we're all having a successful, fantastic, awesome Sunday or Monday or wherever you are. I'm just checking my levels, checking that everything's working fine. And as always, just a quick reminder to at Ninja Monkey Guy or at Ninja Monkey or write questions so I can get to your question and know that it's a question. And I will be specifically, prioritizing support. So super chats, members, Patreon, PayPal, that kind of thing. I will prioritize, and hopefully, I'll usually get to all the questions anyway. So anyway, here we go. Let's get started, and hopefully you can all hear me. Don't forget to hit the like to just show your appreciation and awesomeness. All right. How is everyone doing it? How is everyone doing, by the way? Let me know in the comment section how everyone is doing. Well, in the chat, you know what I mean. Comment section, chat, same thing. Hey, Anthony Moreno. Can't wait. Looking forward to this. Awesome. I'm looking forward to this. I always look forward to answering questions and interacting with those of you who watch me. I got myself a Coke Zero and a Tokyo Banana. Now I'm ready to watch the stream. Common commenter, you are really super ready to start the stream, and you really know how things go here. Yo, JJI, thanks for being mod for today. Girl Wanna Down Under, good afternoon from Denver, Colorado. Walt Crab, how are you doing? Thanks for being a member, by the way. Awesome stuff. Hello to you all, man with no life. K. Lu, hi. Hope you're doing well. Konnichiwa, Caster. Konnichiwa to you too. Or konbanwa, actually, right now, because it's like nearly 10 p.m. here, by the way. No intro today, because I was pretty much ready. Usually I put the intro when I'm sorting things out, you know? Monkey, money doesn't let you down. Sometimes it does. Monkey doesn't. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hey from El Paso. Awesome. Levels are good. Nice. There's no music though, is there? I like to like. Hi from Seattle. Awesome. Interestingly, a long time ago, I nearly lived in Seattle. It's a crazy story. I'll go into it in the future. But hey, we might not be here today if I had lived in Seattle. The monkey never lets us down, but the money always does indeed. Hey, Red Value. Nice chatting with you the other day. Awesome stuff. I hope you're doing well, by the way. Finn, hello. I'm staying in Tokyo for 2 weeks. Should I get a SIM card with or without phone number? eSIM is not an option for me. You know what? In all the years that I've traveled to Japan, and it's been 10 years, actually now over 10 years, I can say, I've never had a phone number in Japan, and I've never really had an issue with not having a phone number in Japan. There might be some very specific instances where you might need a phone number, but those are usually quite rare, and usually there are ways around it. I've even given out my line information, email addresses, and I've even just given my hotel phone number if I've ever needed it. So it's up to you. Stargen! We have another mod in the house. How are you doing, Stargen? Nice to have you here, by the way. Wow, the Red Value in the chat. Yeah, I chat to the Red Value very often, actually. Quite often. we bounce back and forth. Adriano, hello from Rome, Italy. Buonanotte? Is that how you say good evening? Buonanotte? I don't know. Lucas, would you prefer the Shinkansen over flying Tokyo to Kyoto? If so, why? Absolutely. I think from Kyoto to Tokyo, it's going to be far easier to use the Shinkansen than flying, just because of the frequency of the trains. There's something like probably one Shinkansen every 6 minutes at least, or every 7 minutes, going between Tokyo and Kyoto. It doesn't take that long, And I think that the time that it will take you to get to the airport and all that jazz, and actually, get your luggage, etc., it's just not going to be worth it. Now, flying across Japan will definitely be worth it for you if you are going on journeys that I would say are more than 4 hours on the Shinkansen. Then it starts making a little bit more sense. I'm going to Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, 5th of December to the 19th. Should I prepare for snow or really cold climate? I would say prepare for cold evenings, probably not for snow at around that time of the year. But it's freaking, like climate change, and God knows what's going to happen. Every year things change. Hi from the UK, only 65 days, 19 hours, 36 minutes, probably 30 minutes by now till your trip to Japan. Grant, so exciting. So exciting. Hello from Tennessee. Jeff, how are you doing? Jeff Dale. Jennifer, dude, how are you doing? Hi, Nathan Genki. Thanks for doing the best airline search live stream for on Wednesday. Yeah, Jennifer was the one that asked me. She's a patron, by the way. And she asked me, she actually said, hey, Nathan, can you do a live stream on Wednesday about airfares and tracking? So, yeah. Howdy, Bojo. And I am getting through stuff quickly. Buonanotte is right. Awesome. We can make friends solo in... can we make friends solo in Tokyo if we don't speak Japanese? Absolutely, you can. I mean, it depends on how you define friends. I think that you can definitely make connections with people and chat with people and talk to people whilst you're in Japan. As a solo traveler, absolutely. The issue really is keeping those friends, and that is a two-way thing. It means actually putting effort into a relationship. I made many friends for the years traveling in Japan, and I keep in contact with the majority of them, and I meet up with a lot of them whilst I'm traveling in Japan, and I think I'm quite good at keeping in contact with people. But like I said, it's a two-way thing, and yeah, you can. Daniel and Yuka, I was on your live stream when you were in Shibuya yesterday, or yesterday my time anyway, and you didn't see me in the live stream, but I was there, and I was like, hey, I'm here. I will be in Japan from October the 27th to November the 14th. Nice. 7 days in Tokyo, and we'll be traveling outside like Nikko. Nice. Kawaguchiko, Kawagoe, Yokohama, Kamakura. Is Tokyo-wide pass worth it? It sounds to me like it probably will be worth it for you. I can't remember exactly all the locations where the Tokyo-wide pass will cover, but if you just check it out on a map and it covers those areas, then you're going to be good. My trip to Japan will start in 4 days, and I'm still in the process to book accommodations. Dude, seriously? Stop watching and go on booking.com or something, or use my Klook affiliate link to help you get some of those there you go. Well, some of those bookings and help me out at the same time. Hey Twitter, how you doing? Cliff Dog, nice to see you. Yeah, Japan is a last minute traveler. Unfortunately, I can't be a last minute traveler. I wish I was, but hey. What is your favorite city in Japan? What city would you recommend for first timers? I think that probably my favorite city, it's a difficult question to answer because I like different cities for different things. So I'm going to answer, what would I recommend for first timers? I think Tokyo for first timers can be a great city because you can get a bit of everything. You can pretty much travel across many areas from Tokyo. And you can get the traditional side, Asakusa, you can go, Shinjuku, Shibuya, Akihabara for the more modern Roppongi. And if you want to get out of Tokyo for some day trips, that's an option too. Stealth lurking, indeed. Have I missed something? I don't think I've missed anything. For a 24-day trip, do you recommend an eSIM with unlimited data, or will 30 gigabytes be enough? Adriano, it depends on what you're going to use how you're going to use your data. For example, me as a streamer, as a content creator, I could tell you that I used 100 gigabytes in 5 weeks. So I used 100 gigabytes in 5 weeks, or just under 5 weeks, of quite a lot of use. Imagine. So that can give you an idea. And when it comes on what my recommendations are, it all depends on the use case scenario, really. There'll be people that are just going to be posting things on Facebook, on Instagram, and making odd calls here and there, and they might not need, an unlimited data sim will normally have a cap of 2 gigabytes a day or 3 gigabytes a day, and for most people that's enough. But if you are worried and you don't want a cap, then having a specified amount of data is probably the best thing to do. And don't forget that if you do see that you're running out of data, you could just purchase some more. On the note of Sims, I do actually have a Sakura Mobile affiliate link, which helps the channel a lot, really. Like, this is probably my biggest affiliate link, because I can vouch for it quite a lot. I use it.
Money for beer. Yellow, please.
What the heck? Yellow. Okay, guys, who sent me a super chat? Awesome. Anthony Moreno. Money for beer. Yellow, please. Okay, yellow it is. For those of you who don't know, if you super chat, you get to choose a color in the background when it works, because sometimes it just doesn't want to work. But I'm going to try and make it yellow, and yellow can sometimes be a little bit a difficult color. Maybe I should. There you go. Is that yellow enough? I think that's as yellow as I can get it, really, unfortunately. That's as yellow as I can get it, guys. But much appreciated. Arigatou gozaimasu. All right, let's get back to the. Oh yeah, and I also need to get you on the wall. I'm so rusty. I am so rusty. Where's my thing? Thank you, Anthony Moreno, for that super chat. Much appreciated. Okay, let's get back to the questions, or just general. Lots of people coming to Japan for Halloween. Hopefully it's much cooler by then. I hope so too. I mean, last year around Halloween it was quite nice during the day, but then it did get a little bit cooler as the day, in the evening. Jesse, awesome, dude. What are your favorite museums in Tokyo? Okay, I'm gonna say something you probably. Does this count as a museum? Digital art museum? I would probably say that Team Labs. Is my favorite museum in Tokyo. Lame answer. Much appreciated for being a member for 22 months, dude. That is awesome. Have I not bored you in 22 months? What? For me, traveling solo makes it a lot easier to get into Japanese mode, since I'm not switching back and forth to English. And I think that traveling solo actually is one of the better ways of actually making friends, or making connections with Japanese people, because when you are traveling with somebody else, what tends to happen is you tend to speak to them and not interact with anybody else. So, and also if you're with somebody else, with a group of people, most Japanese people might not really interact with you, or because you're with somebody else, but if you're with your own, then it's easier, I think. Anthony Moreno is indeed here. He came in with a bang. I can't believe you almost missed it, considering that you were like the first one to comment. I think Hakodate is best. I really don't like Kyoto or Kyoto people. Well, that's very nice to know. I met some lovely Kyoto people, and I love Kyoto. Coming with my son in May 2025. Awesome, Helen. Well, now is the time to start planning, I think, really, because there's so much to do. Tokyo wide is pretty good if you stay near Shinjuku Station. It includes a lot of limited express trains. Best city in Japan, Nagoya. I am going to absolutely 100% disagree with you. Like, and I'm not joking. I don't think Nagoya is the greatest city in Japan. Please don't go to Nagoya. Unless you go to the Ghibli Museum or the train. The train museum in Nagoya is freaking awesome. You know what? A long time ago, Nagoya was pretty good when you could use the JR pass and get around places. How do I get an Ikoka Fujin card? I'm coming 2 weeks, landing at Kansai. Well, you'd have to. Where'd you get that? Ikoka is from Kyoto, so you need to get it from Kyoto, Osaka, I believe. I'm going in October solo. I don't mind staying alone in the day, but getting drinks with people or meet them in the evening will be nice. And Mohammed, this is a really good way to remind people that actually there is a Discord. The Discord is a great place for you to, communicate with other like-minded people from the Ninja Monkey community, and or the Monkey Crew. And basically, you can make arrangements. Say, hey, anybody around to hang out? I've even set up a meetup for the 28th of October. It's a tentative one. I'm not very sure if that's a day where it's gonna stay. I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen there, but just letting you know. Peace and love from Dusseldorf. I've been to Dusseldorf. I like Dusseldorf quite a bit. It's a pretty cool place. Alisa, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me just... Arigatou gozaimasu. Let me add you to my list, by the way. I wish there was an easier way to add people to the list. You know what? I'm so bad. I am such a bad streamer. Alicia, sorry. Alicia K, not L. K. Thank you so much for your super chat. Much appreciated. All of these really do help so much. Let's carry on. Oh, and Jim Ross. Also, Jim Ross. Jim Ross for being such a super supporter. Arigatou gozaimasu. But for being such a super supporter, I think we might have a monkey sound playing. I'm not very sure if that's going to work, but I know you like it. It's all your fault, all you guys' fault. I tried to resist Japan, but I couldn't resist the twin pools of Japan and all the experiences people here relates. Looked and found a relatively inexpensive direct flight, only 4 hours drive from the airport. I am so excited that you're going to Japan, Jim Ross. Everybody hit the like button for Jim Ross, who's finally going to Japan. Well, he was there earlier this year, but going back to Japan. Right, let's see. Remember, at Ninja Monkey Guy or question, and I am going to start sort of skimming through the small talk and trying to get to the questions, okay? And just letting you know that I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to answer questions here. What are must-sees and what are tourist traps in Tokyo and Kyoto? Again, everything is relative. I think everything is a must-see. It just depends on how much percentage of time you are willing to give to each thing. Like when it comes to Tokyo, just watch my guides. I have a whole Tokyo and a whole Kyoto guide, and within Tokyo I have a guide for different areas. I have a guide for Ueno, I have a guide for Shinjuku, I have a Shinokitazawa guide. So check those out, and if anything is interesting to you, just make sure that you assign the amount of time that you think is worth it to you. In terms of tourist traps, there is the new Toyosu sort of like market street, the Sengakuban-rai, whatever. I went there and I thought that was a little bit of a tourist trap. Not that it is a tourist trap. I just felt that there's so much more that Tokyo has to offer that you might want to consider instead of that. Does the limousine bus from Narita really take about 2 hours? It can. It can actually take less than that, actually. So it's the limousine bus is a really good way of traveling from Narita or Haneda into different areas of Tokyo, depending on where you're staying. There are going to be some times when the limo bus is just not worth it. It's just going to be easier to get the train. But if you are traveling like as a family, or if it's your first time, if you're worried about luggage, etc., it can all be very worrying, and it can give you anxiety. Like, what am I going to do with my luggage? What if the train is super full? What if it's a rush hour? Etc., etc., etc. The limousine bus will take you to a lot of the main areas in Tokyo. Might even take you to your specific hotel. If it's a big hotel, probably stop there, and if not, it will usually stop at the main stations near. And you know what? You can always find one of those main hotels. If they are close to your accommodation, then just stop off there and move on from there. Yeah, I got it. Is Team Labs a museum? This is what I was wondering. We're coming the week after Golden Week. Should it be less crowded? Absolutely. Yeah, it should be less crowded the week after Golden Week. All the domestic tourists would have probably used their time around Golden Week. So yeah, Japan is definitely the person to answer the question about the limousine bus. So please listen to him, read his advice. That's why Nagoya is so great. So few tourists and so little to do. Sorry. Now, you know what? Actually, I have a Nagoya guide coming. Well, I'm working on a Nagoya guide. I don't think it's a worse city in the world. I do have a guide that I put together with somebody from Nagoya, but unfortunately, I think that there are many more better places as a tourist, to visit. Do you think Osaka to Imeji and Kurashiki is doable in one day? No way, dude. Not all in one day. I think Osaka, well, it depends. If you're going to be doing Osaka, if you're staying in Osaka and you want to do a stop off in Himeji on the way to Kurashiki, then it could be doable in one day. I know people that do it the other way around. A lot of people do it, if you think of it like this, a lot of people do Hiroshima, traveling, stopping off at Himeji Castle, and then from Himeji Castle going back to Osaka. So, I guess it all depends on how long you want to give to that specific trip. How long do you want to spend in Himeji? When are you gonna be leaving the train? When are you gonna be leaving in the morning? That picture you posted earlier of all the prefectures on Patreon, what would you say are your top prefectures? I am personally looking forward to exploring Aomori. So for that question, for those of you who don't know, I do have a Patreon, and I do give sometimes exclusive access to things that I'm working on. And in this case, for those of you who don't know, I've traveled across Japan's 47 prefectures, all of the prefectures across the last 10 years. And I thought that it would be quite an interesting video for me to choose one place that I visited that I think, or a place or an experience that I would recommend from each prefecture. So I've been working on a video, and I posted a list of a first draft. It might change, of some of the locations that I would recommend, some of the experiences I would recommend from each of the 47 prefectures. It's very difficult to undertake. And that list is actually down in order of how many people visit. So for example, at the very, very top is Tokyo, because the majority of people visit Tokyo. And then at the very, very bottom, I can't remember who was at the very bottom, but that's how I've listed it. When it comes to my personal prefectures, I don't know right now off the top of my head. I can tell you that at the moment, fresh from my last trip, I really, really liked, obviously, Okinawa, but I really liked Miyazaki Prefecture. Kyushu as a whole is a pretty darn cool place, and I'd have Tohoku, so I'd have to give that a little bit more thought. But that will probably be in the future, maybe even as a live stream ranking or whatever. But at the moment, I'm just focused on trying to give some value that people can use. You know, my opinion of my favorite prefectures is interesting, but I don't think it's gonna add any value to the viewer. Whilst if I was to give you one specific location or one specific experience that I would recommend from each prefecture, that might be more valuable to you. So that's the way that I'm doing it right now, to try to give you a little bit more added value. Car museum in Nagoya is cool. Okay. Cool. And yeah, thank you everyone for your support. Means a lot. Are you a bad streamer or a bad stream? Question. I'm planning. Whoa, I said question very loudly there. I'm planning to take the train from Tokyo to Kyoto in November on a Saturday morning. Is it okay to just go and buy the tickets from the machines, or should I reserve in advance? Will it sell out? Look, there are so many Shinkansens traveling between Kyoto and Tokyo. So many, that it's very, very rare for the whole thing to run out, you know, to sell out. The only thing that I'm going to say is that if you want to travel at a specific time, then you might be better off, you know, like getting your ticket in advance a day before or 2 days before or whatever. You can do that when you're in Japan. You can even do it from the ticket booth or from the machine a few days in advance, no problem, when you're in Japan. And that's always my recommendation. I'm going to give you an example. Obviously, it depends if it's a public holiday, etc. But very recently on my last trip, I was traveling from Tokyo to Fukui, and I wanted to leave around 10 in the morning, and basically all of the trains were sold until 3 p.m. and the only train time that was available was super early in the morning. So I ended up having to go on the very, very early train to Fukui, just because if I left at 3 p.m. then that's a day wasted, you know. And that was like 3 days in advance. And yes, it was Obon holiday. So like always, don't take the risk if you're worried. If it's during the week, if you're set on a specific time, then you know you're better off having your ticket in advance. Hey, that screech sounds familiar. Yeah, that was you. Any question? We'll be exploring Nagoya. Guys, if I'm not reading your statements, it's because I'm trying to find questions. Remember, at Ninja Monkey or question. I'm going to get to your questions and then maybe I'll go back to any other comments. Team Labs is awesome. I went with Daniel and Yuka and Little Baby also. Question. Do you recommend Yamato Kuroneko? Also, I think there is a service to send your luggage from Tokyo to Haneda. Okay, Yamato. I see what you mean. I wasn't getting what you were saying. Do you know about it? Send your luggage from Tokyo to Haneda. Yes, you can use Yamato transport to send your luggage in advance to multiple places around Japan. I send my luggage, for example, from Oita, from Beppu in Oita to Tokyo. The only thing is that depending on how far and depending on when you want your luggage to arrive, you might have to send it in advance. So a little bit of planning is needed, and you might actually want to have like a night bag or an extra bag for just your essentials whilst you send things across. And you can definitely send your luggage to the airport. Yeah, there you go. Remember, at Ninja Monkey or question, like. Don't forget to like, guys. Twitter, Cliff Dog. How should I call you? Twitter, Cliff Dog 01. I think Cliff is that okay? Is Cliff okay, by the way? Okay, I'm staying a night in Nagoya. Is there much of a nightlife? Well, I'm gonna say something. There there is a little bit of an interesting area in Nagoya. Hopefully I get a video out before you go on Nagoya. But there is an interesting area in Nagoya, and one of the if I'm going to recommend something is for you to have those chicken wings in Nagoya, because I swear that I have never ever had such good chicken wings anywhere in Japan, probably anywhere in the world. In terms of nightlife, I didn't really do much nightlife when I was there. Okay, Japanese Japan, that might work. That might work. I'll have to look at it, but that might work. Question. I'm going to Japan for the whole of November. Awesome. I'm going to Sendai for my second week. Do you have any day trip recommendations? Yes, I do absolutely have day trip recommendations. In fact, I made a whole video about it. You can check out my Sendai video, and I'll give you a few. From Sendai, you can go to Matsushima. Matsushima Bay is one of Japan's top 3 views because of its tiny pine tree cladded islands. It's quite a spectacular place, and it's so close from Sendai that it's so easy to get to. Number 2, you can go to Yamadera. Yamadera temple is at the top of many stairs. It's super like mystical, it's so cool. And I think that in November it will be a really nice time to go, because when I went in the summer it was freaking hot and there was a lot of steps. So that's another one. If you want to use Sendai as a platform to get to other places, you could even travel to Morioka from Sendai quite easily in around an hour, over an hour. So that's another day trip, and Morioka is a pretty cool place. I do like that place a lot. Other than that, there's also Geibeki Gorge, which you can access from Sendai. It's a beautiful gorge where you can get a boat, and you can basically go along this gorge, and they sing on the boat. It's a whole experience sort of thing. I've got a video about that. By the way, pretty much everything that I'm mentioning, most of them have videos. So if you just go on my channel, you will find a little magnifying glass. You can search for the video, and you'll find my video. A lot of them are quite old and maybe a bit cringy because I didn't know what I was doing back then, but hey, hopefully it will help. Good stream, man. I need to go to bed. Don't worry, dude. Question. Do you think the hype about overtourism is overblown, or was it seasonal and now pass? For those of you, John, for those of you who have been following me on Discord, I've been working on a video about overtourism, and Japanese Japan knows very well what a struggle it's been. I've put so many hours into research. I keep on getting different statistics. I keep on getting different numbers from different places. Like, it's become a little bit of a nightmare. So I'm tackling it in a different way. And when it comes to overtourism, is it overblown? I think it depends on how I answer the question. At the moment, I'm sort of exploring the issue being overtourism or crowd control. I think that Japan isn't doing a very good job of crowd control. There's a lot of people going to the same places, but yet nothing has changed in the last 10 years, or very little has changed in the last 10 years, meaning that a lot of these places still have the same opening hours. A lot of these places still have the same infrastructure, the same amount of ticket booths, etc., etc., etc. And I'll be talking about this in a future video. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to tackle it without being too offensive and without being cancelled on YouTube. Oh, I forgot to live stream on Discord. I forgot to put the thing on Discord. Well, I can do that now. So thank you so much for the reminder. Oh, you Discord people. Oh, thank you. Japanese Japan already did it. The day trips I've planned from Sendai, Matsushima Bay, Yamadera, Hirazumi, Geibeki Gorge. Awesome. Are you going to Sendai also? Dude, where are you not going? Are you doing all that like in this trip? What the heck? It's been killing my soul not having a firm commitment to return. Now I've got to find spectacular illuminations to attend. Never been in December or January. Jim Ross, the Ashikaga flower park has incredible illuminations, really, really cool illuminations. Let's see. Any questions? Alright, Ninja Monkey. How early should we be booking Shinkansens between prefectures? Again, I think that I pretty much answered the question earlier on. It's the same answer. I think it all depends on whether or not it's a weekend, whether or not it's a public holiday, and whether or not you are flexible or have a specific time that you need to leave. If you have a specific time, I think usually 2-3 days is probably more than enough. I usually don't book anything more than 2 or 3 days in advance. That's pretty much my sort of go-to time. Japan, we're freaking on the same wavelength. Like, holy cow, the last few weeks, we are like united in the brain. I wouldn't worry, Saika, about doing it weeks before. The really cool thing, it depends. If you have a JR pass, if it's worth it for you, please don't get a JR pass if it's not worth it for you. But if you did have a JR pass and you go via the official website, then you can actually do all the bookings online. It's pretty cool. Hey, thank you, Ivan. Let me just add you to the list before I answer the question. Ivan is my nephew's name also. Did you know that? It's pretty cool. And arigatou gozaimasu. What would be your public transport recommendation to travel between Kanazawa via Shirakawa and Takayama to Nagoya? Best time of the year to travel. I think that when it comes, I've not traveled specifically that route that you're mentioning, but I have traveled between those routes, if that makes any sense. And my recommendation is to actually look into buses. I think that at that area that you're specifically talking about, the unsung hero might actually be a bus or a combination of bus, potentially, for example, getting to Kanazawa, getting to Nagoya by train, but then using a bus. But don't just focus on using the Shinkansen or using a limited express trains. I've used plenty of buses, and I found that sometimes the times align better with my needs. The times might be just a little bit longer or even shorter depending on where you're going. So I hope that points you in the right direction. MQD, I just need to read this because he's sitting in a massage chair in his hotel room right now. First day in Japan ever, Akihabara. Sun is rising right now. Thanks for all your help leading up to my trip. Awesome. Thank you so much for the... I now have and I'm imagining you sitting on a massage chair right now. Hola, forastero mono ninja. It's like, what the heck are you writing? Hello? What's that? Forest ninja monkey? Foresting ninja monkey? It's hot, I can imagine. Tommy Tran, how are you doing? Okay, any more questions? Trying to get to the questions. Yamachu chicken, maybe, maybe. Daniel, you can maybe. Purchasing with Klook, please. If you're purchasing with Klook, please use my affiliate link. I'll leave it there for a little bit because it literally does help the channel quite a bit. All of these little things don't cost you anything. You don't get charged any additional money, for clicking an affiliate link, but it helps creators like myself. It helps me get back to Japan. It helps me create the guides, and it, basically, I wouldn't be able to be going back to Japan and creating guides and filming stuff if I didn't have this little bit of support, if that makes any sense. By the way, nobody's asked for a different color. I'm going to change the color. If you want to change the color, you donate. You can tell me what color you want. I'm going to put it purple because I kind of like purple. Look, I even have a purple band. All right, let me just move the Klook thing out of the way. Ta-da! You pick them up at the counter at the airport, by the way. Twitter, Cliff Dog. Twitter, Cliff Dog. Any good hikes recommendations from Tokyo looking for a great view? You could always go to Mount Takao, which actually I've never done, but I'm hoping to do this time round when I go in 6 weeks' time, everyone. 6 weeks. Okay, let me get the Coke Zero open. I haven't opened the Coke Zero. I'm supposed to be cat sitting. I need to go and stay with the cat tonight. Check out my t-shirt, everyone. If this isn't an awesome t-shirt, you've all seen it. You've been following me. Ishigaki Island, Orion, the Draft. I love this t-shirt. I've got one in white, one in black. All right, any more questions? I'm going through the questions. Twitter, you have a valid point. You have valid points. I'm going to Japan for first time in October for a whole month. Nice. I want to have more countryside experience. What would be your recommendations? Thanks for all your videos and streamings have helped. Good. I'm glad I can help. Okay. When it comes to traveling to the Inaka, it depends how much time do you want to spend outside of Tokyo. I'm guessing you're going to be staying in Tokyo. It's quite easy. If you go into my Discord, one of my moderators can add the link to the Discord, but I actually put a map of the most visited places by international tourists, I think it was. Just choose areas where there are less tourists. Some specific areas I would recommend would be Tohoku. I would also, and also if you go up north, you might even get the maybe slightly earlier autumn colors, potentially. But Tohoku is a great area with less tourists. And Kyushu is also a great area with less tourists. Pretty much anywhere outside of Tokyo, Kyoto, or Osaka. I personally think that Aizu Wakamatsu, which is a relatively easy trip, might be good for you. It feels it feels like a little bit different to a big city. Next week, Jeffro will be holidaying in Japan and staying for 15 days in Shibuya. Nice. Also want to visit Osaka for 2 days. Can I use Suica card also for the metro there? Yes, you can use the IC cards like the Suica interchangeable like across Japan. The only thing is that obviously if you're going to be using the Shinkansen, you can't really use the Suica to tap into the Shinkansen, but you can use the Suica to pay for your Shinkansen ticket, if that makes any sense. Right, going for any questions? Question, do you have any recommendations for Fukuoka in November? Aizu Wakamatsu. Aizu Wakamatsu. Sorry, that's not Fukuoka. For Fukuoka, yes. Ramen. Eat ramen. Oh my god, I get confused between some places. Chef, arigatou gozaimasu. Thanks for being such an awesome supporter, by the way. You guys are pretty awesome. Oh yeah, and I also have to do the confetti. No? Come on. Arigatou gozaimasu. I like doing that because it makes me feel like I'm, it's kind of fun. Planning timing of the next trip. Want to avoid Golden Week and peak Sakura, Momoji, and the worst summer heat. When is a magic time to go that's left? That is a difficult question. Maybe in May, after Golden Week, in between Golden Week. If you want to, then rainy season. How does that sound? Is it possible to hype up your Japan trip too much? No, impossible. I think if I hyped it up too much, I might be disappointed. Have you ever been disappointed through hyping your trip up too much? That is a very good question, and this is definitely the wrong group to ask it in because we hype each other up all the time. Ooh, green to summon Frog Lady to the stream. Let's see. Okay, let's change it to green. Maybe Frog Lady will appear. I'm not very sure though. I don't know what the time is like in Australia right now. Mid-July will be the end of the rainy season. It will be the start or you'll be starting very hot and very humid. Like I said, Nima, many times my recommendation, and I always say there's never a bad time to go to Japan. The best time to go to Japan is when you can go to Japan. So, for example, if for whatever reason you're super flexible, you're retired and you're very, very, very flexible, and you can travel any time of the year, and you start looking for flights and you find the cheapest flights and a great hotel deal, and it's in the middle of the rainy season, then, that's the best time for you. How do express buses work? I tried to get the app, but it won't load on a foreign Android. You can try. I think you can try via Japantravel. If you go, Japantravel has its own sort of like little network of buses, and I've used those before. Alternatively, I've never actually have I booked online express buses. I've always booked them at the station myself, other than through Japantravel. Not a Japan service question, but I noticed that when I interact with service staff, I freeze up because when I hear Japanese, I just get a bit overwhelmed. Any advice for making interaction smoother? I think when it comes to making interaction smoother, the more you do it, the smoother it becomes, the more confident you become, and the more used to it you become. Really, travel more to Japan. That's. I already answered that, I think. Let's see. I love the shirt, thank you. Oh yeah, I do have a second channel, everyone. Happy Gaijin. Thank you for reminding me. Happy Gaijin. I do do most of my live streaming whilst I'm in Japan from that channel, so it's definitely worth checking it out and seeing what I get up to. In 6 weeks' time, by the way. If you decided to live in Japan, which city or region would be your forever home? I mean, if I really, really, really wanted to, and I could, I think Okinawa would be pretty cool. Miyazaki has really blown me away. I've said it a few times. Miyazaki is pretty nice, but I think realistically, where most of my friends are and where most of the things and the routes and easy access to everywhere would be Tokyo. Dying Girl is in the house. How are you doing, my man? How are you doing? You're welcome. You're welcome, Oscar. Do you know if it's true that they will open the Donkey Kong area this year? They're supposed to open the Donkey Kong area this autumn, this fall. So, yes. Question. Going in late February, staying in Kanazawa for 4 days, nice. 3 days in Tokyo, nice. While doing day trips to Kamakura, Yokohama. What other city should I go for 3 days? I don't like snowy places. Okay. Hiroshima. Maybe Hiroshima is a great place as a platform to visit other places around the area. If not, maybe Fukuoka, Nagasaki in Kyushu. Those locations are totally different to some of the places that you've mentioned there. Consider them. Do a little bit of research there. When I visited Ishikawa Zoo, I wound up walking by some of the pear orchards on the way back to the station in a rural field not far from Tokyo. It's very easy to get a less rural feel, even within Tokyo. Osaka, October 28th to the 6th of November. I really want to experience the Halloween night at Universal Studios Japan. Any tips, do's, don'ts for getting the best out of the experience? I've never done Universal Studios Osaka. I'm going to be totally honest. So I'm not probably the best person to answer that. But if I were you, I would obviously, make sure that I get my tickets in advance. for the day. Ooh, interesting. Nice ones. Nice one. Let's see. I can't believe you're still here, Daniel. Daniel and Yuka. You're the best. Hello, I'm going to Japan January 2025 for the first time. I'm visiting Osaka, Tokyo for 2 weeks. What do you suggest doing during the month of January? I'm packing in a cold month for mid-January. Definitely onsen, guys. Onsen in the winter. Mwah. Mwah. Remember, guys, to at Ninja Monkey or to write question so that I can actually see that it's a question, or I might miss it if you're not a member, for example. Come on, people, less than half has smashed the like button. Dude, what? Only 50 people have liked the stream? Are you kidding me? I'm not doing a great job, but that's okay. I'm not the best streamer in the world. That's fine. Do you think the Osaka Expo 2025 is causing airline and hotel rates to be increased more than usual? I haven't looked around that specific time, but like with everything, you know, if there's a demand, then probably the airfares will go up and hotels will go up, but it also depends on where you're flying to. I mean, you might find potentially that you want to play around with your end destination. You could potentially put in an end destination that isn't Osaka, that isn't Tokyo, for example, somewhere else, and it might give you a cheaper flight. Surprisingly, it happened to me once before, where I flew to Sapporo via Tokyo, and it was cheaper than flying to Tokyo. So I just spent a week in Sapporo, but in that area in Hokkaido. But obviously, you can just play around. Let's see. Raise a roof of confetti. I'm going to do it again because I have to say I've had quite awesome support today. I'll do it again. Do you know if it's true that Universal... Okay, please don't repeat the questions. Hola, voy a ir a Japón por 15 días desde Puerto Rico, desde el 26 de septiembre al 15 de octubre. ¿Cómo es el weather en esa época? Okay, guys, please let's keep things to English. I'm just reading that one, but Giovanni says going to Japan for 15 days from Puerto Rico, from the 29th to the 15th from the 29th of September to the 15th of October. What's the weather like around that time? I think that the weather is going to be on the warm, not hot, but the warm side during the day, and it will start cooling down, but probably not cold in the evening. Just check the weather forecast, you know, a few days before you leave to get an idea. How is your Japanese language doing? Musukashi. You know, unfortunately, I've sort of like don't have the time to learn any Japanese. I was speaking to Japan about this. Basically, at the moment, it's got to the point where I don't really study when I'm here, but when I'm in Japan, I make a huge effort to try to speak it and learn something new. Hey, thanks for saying hi, by the way. Thank you. Where in Tokyo would you like to live? That's a good question. I don't know. Ueno? I'm doing good. I can't stand cities. I work in cities. Home needs to be a wee cabin in the mountains. Sounds perfect, says Jim. Deep woodland is best. Yeah, I mean, I can give you a quick overview of tattoos. It's an easy one to cover because it's been covered so many times by so many content creators. But generally, when it comes to tattoos, there are a lot of onsen that will not allow it. And your best bet is to ask in advance. Some of them will allow you to cover your tattoos if they're small. Some of them will not allow you to cover your tattoos if they're big. But at the same time, there are plenty of onsens that are tattoo friendly. Do a little bit of research and you just go to the ones that are tattoo friendly, or go to ones that have private rooms or private onsen rooms that you can hire, save you lots of problems. And Daigo knows exactly what he's talking about there. Puerto Rico en la casa. Puerto Rico is here. 2 weeks, I will go to Takayama, nice, Shirakawa, Go, Gyo, Hachiman, Kanazawa, and Osaka. Traveling the country as a visually impaired traveler should be a blast. Please let us know how that goes. Because if you have some tips, you could go and help some other people. Japanese is easy. For the guy asking why not July, August, it's very hot and very humid, but you have less tourists than in autumn and during cherry blossoms. And if you can avoid the typhoon, it's not raining very often. Summer, it's complicated. I did a whole video about it, by the way. Summer is complicated. I can make the most of my time when I'm in summer due to my employment. So that's when I do the most of my traveling in Japan. But it is hot, it is humid, and in terms of climate, it's probably not the best time to go to Japan. But summer has a lot of other things going for it, like Matsuri, festivals, fireworks, and a lot of people wearing yukata, and the whole feel of summer is so different to any time of the year. Any private onsens you can recommend for first timers? You'd have to check with each individual onsen on that. Some of them might only have private onsens for guests staying overnight. Some of them might have public onsens with private rooms that you might have to book in advance. So it's a little bit difficult. There will be, obviously. You're welcome. Yeah, take your tattoos to New Zealand. They don't care. Actually, like I mentioned, there's lots of places in Japan that don't care either. Surprise, really. So summer in Japan is freaking miserable. Yeah, this year when it comes to typhoons, like to what I was mentioning now about typhoons, this year it was interesting because I was there for 6 weeks. Last year I experienced three typhoons, and this time round I didn't really experience any. There was one typhoon in Okinawa just before I got there, so it didn't affect me. And then there were no typhoons until I left, basically. So I think that this year that it felt like the typhoons were quite later. Sometimes in the past I've got typhoons in late July or very, very early August. This time they were on like late August, most of them anyway. Yeah, come to Discord, guys. For sure. Kunosaki is awesome. It's a great location. Yeah, wow. I think I've pretty much got to all the questions today. I've had to miss a little bit of the small talk, unfortunately, to try to get to the questions. But if you do have any other questions, now is definitely the time for you to ask. Because this is the Q&A after all. Summer has lots of festivals and events on which is nice, but humidity is really bad. Yeah, it's true. But, oh my god, the Tohoku festivals, seriously, guys. I feel like people are just very welcoming in the summer. Maybe it's because they know that everyone's suffering together. Tokyo banana time. Tokyo banana time. I only have, I think, I have 6 weeks before my trip to Japan, and I only have 4 or 5 Tokyo bananas left. So, itadakimasu. A family of 3 with a 6-year-old recommended the area to stay within the Yamanote line. 20-30 minutes train access to Shibuya. Ueno. There you go. Thanks for the tip. Medji, bro, also. Typhoon tattoos. Typhoon tattoos. Giovanni, let's try and keep it to English. I know that I can speak Spanish, but I do try to keep things in English. I don't know specific. I don't have a calendar specific to what's going to happen between the 29th of September and the 15th of October, but can you talk a little bit about buses? Sure. The getting on and back from the back and the getting tickets to calculate out your stops gets me never done this before. Okay, Kalo, there's something that you can do, and when it comes to a bus, you might want to consider getting a bus pass, like for example a 24-hour pass, a 48-hour pass, or a 72-hour pass. A lot of places, in fact the majority of places, have such passes. If you get a pass like that, then you don't have to worry about getting, anything entering from the back and, paying at the front. You just show the pass the very first time. Usually they scratch out the dates and the type of pass or whatever, and you're good to go. That would be my tip. Usually makes a saving. Usually you can save some cash doing that too. But even if you're not saving cash, if it's something that's going to bring you anxiety, then a little bit of extra money for ease of use and not being worried every time you get on a bus is going to help, I'd say, And different buses work differently also. Some buses you don't enter for the back, but usually there's 2 ways that you can enter a bus in Japan. Number 1, there's a little machine and you get a number and you sit down, and that number corresponds to a screen that's at the front of the bus, and that screen, the price, the fare changes depending on the number. So if you're number 5, as a journey progresses, that number 5 will become more expensive, if that makes any sense. And then at the end, you put your little number with the fare in, and you pay the bus driver. Or a lot of places actually have Suica or IC card tap, so you can enter the bus, tap, and then when you get out, you tap, and it extracts the money. Okay, guys, it's been about an hour, and I am going to start closing things. So if you do have any last minute questions, now is your chance to ask me. As always, I want to say a big thank you to those of you who have supported me today. Not just with likes, please like if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Maybe you're just listening and you're not a subscriber. But a big thank you to Anthony Moreno, to Alicia Kay, to Jim Ross, to Ivan, to Jeff Dale. I don't think I've missed anybody out, have I? Let me check. I hope I haven't missed anybody out. Wait a minute. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Jim, Alicia, Ivan, and Jeff. I think we are good. Oh yeah, and guys, check out my friends' channels. Japan, Ichiban, a little bit of Japan, Diana Yuka, etc, etc, etc. But yeah, I don't think there's any more questions. It's been good. Thanks. I am gonna end it there because I have to go and feed a cat. You might have met my cat in the past, but today I decided to stream from here. Everything was set up. It was just so much easier, and I was here anyway. But I've got to drive now, and I'm staying at my parents. My parents are away, but I'm staying with the cat, feeding the cat, doing medication to the cat. This was a really good time for me. I actually get to see the whole thing. Yay! It's true. That's awesome. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks everyone for watching. Like I always say, like. Oh, and just for those of you who are watching all the way to the end, then why not check out this video that will hopefully come out somewhere around here in the future, where I explain to you how you can actually navigate Tokyo's train system, which isn't as complicated as people might make it seem, and I make it even easier by giving you examples. So watch that one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay positive. Be a happy gaijin. Cheerio. Bye. Cheerio. Where did that come from?